Is it possible for reality to be both out there and in here? How might you reconcile both explanations in a single model? Where is the domain of reality? Does it rest within the physical constraints of the brain, or does it lay outside of the physical body, in nature, in artefact, or in the social ether? On a multiple choice test, which can we check? Reality is the objective state of nature. Reality is a construct that is created by the individual. Reality is a cumulative product of community. Do any apply? Can we check more than one, or even all of the above? What if reality is in here? This approach would contend that reality rests within the individual. It's a construct of their experience within the world. Ideas are formulated, collected, and stored within. It's not the real world that we compose within our brains, but an abstract, composite picture of our experiences, mediated through our senses. Do we live in a world where our brain creates our reality? Can we know the real world as it is just a cognitive illusion? Or to twist this perspective, the real world is in our brain, and the outside is just an illusion. Or is it? What if reality is out there? Here, the contention is that reality is external to the individual. The first sense of out there reality is the reality of nature, the truth of objective reality, the underlying order that our mind perceives as chaos and attempts to make sense of, the laws of nature, the ultimate truth. The second sense of out there reality is reality as a product of community, the sum of thought, a collection of social truths, artefact, which inform who we are and bring us into existence within a cultural context. Or can we stand apart on our own? Is it possible to sit on the fence and have the best of all worlds? To draw from Gregory Bateson's three systems and Guattari's three ecologies, we could purport three realities: the hidden reality of nature, the experienced individual reality, and the cumulative social reality. What implications does the three-in-one Trinity approach of reality have for knowledge? Does it inform us that knowledge exists within us, outside of us in nature, or as a product of community? Again, one would envision it as existing in all three states. How, or shall we say where, is this reality meaningful for the individual? With reality everywhere, perhaps where they meet is the space in between, the entre-deux of Maurice Merleau-Ponty, where individual being interfaces with nature and community. In the here space, the now space, the space that's mediated by our senses. Or if reality is a product of the interaction between, or melding of the multiple spaces, it's neither in here nor out there, but is the sum of nature, individual, and humanity. Or as Francesco Varela says, we're in a world that seems to be there before reflection begins, but that world is not separate from us. Reality is not separate, it's embedded. Perhaps the world is a naturally, knowledge-filled, orderly place that we perceive as chaos. We respond to it, we interact with it, using our sensory-mediated experiences to make sense of the chaos. We hypothesize and construct our own meaning, which we thrust back into our world to compare and test. It becomes a social reality as we engage and interact with others, constructing a communal understanding, a communal reality. We draw on this social reality just as we draw upon nature, all while we act and change the shape of our natural world. It's a highly interwoven, interactive universe. So where does technology fit in this space? Varela says technology, among other things, acts as an amplifier. It's here in the between space of the embedded world that we use technology to interact, gather, collect, store, transmit the knowledge of self, nature, and the social collective. It's here that we use technology to test and perceive nature beyond the limitations of our physical senses, where we reach beyond the capacities of our brain to make sense out of the seeming chaos. Or as Murphy and Potts put it, technology does not merely allow us to manipulate the outside, It makes us confront a fundamental shift in what thought is, when we consider how deeply involved thought is with the outside and the various technologies.